Hello again. So I'll try to continue streaming with some malware. Well, in this case, mostly macro viruses, as far as I'm aware. So let me just go back to this and try to add some of them into here. Still feels kind of idiotic that I'm trying to just like try out some macro and VBS malware instead of using something more specific, but it's going to take a while until I try to reconfigure the whole virtual machine to make it more useful in that case. So just give me a moment. I'll try with five things at least for now. I'm basically just picking up like few random ones and then see how they will go in this case. So this one is Pathe, I think. Wait, that's in Excel, I think. Or did I screw it up in the name? No, that's okay. Perfid. Phantom. Pink. And KillGood, which should be a like Trojan horse. But that's for document. Max Word in this case. So let me check the first one. First one without macros. This is just a plain code file in here. And now in here, do we have anything? No, that's blank. Our work is blank, and we have a plain method in here. So let me see how this one goes. So when the spreadsheet is opened, let me see. What's this? How it should control break or escape command period to cancel in procedures with user's interruption. So in this case, 0 should be completely disabled. In this case, it can be interrupted. And this goes to the error. So if you use Excel disable, there's no way to interrupt a runaway loop or any non-self-terminating code. Likewise, if you use Excel error handler, but your error handler always returns the resume statement, there's no way to stop a runaway code. The enable cancel kill property is always reset to X interrupt whenever Microsoft Excel returns to the idle state and there's no code running. To trap or disable cancellation in the procedure, you must explicitly change the enable cancel key property every time when the procedure is called. So basically when you try to stop this, it should go back to the original state. For the screen updating, I think that's like for updating the interface. And then for the values big, salmon, camel, or the naming, does the bezel exists? Then a constant to the location on the C drive. So for one, to every single component in the project, if the name of the module is basilisk, which this is, then that means that camel is big, so that should be the position of the module in this case. It doesn't seem that it's actually kind of terminating, so at least one value should exist. So this is getting the value of it. It's exported to Draco. It's exported to Draco, which should probably mean to save the file. Yeah. So that should actually extract the file to the Draco file or folder. I'm not sure still. Just a moment. So if the location of the startup file in Nexus start is blank, then add a new workbook, add the Draco add the Basilisk module in there from the Draco location, save the document as book1 XLS in the startup folder, and close it. Now for every opened window in the Excel, and for every workbook item with the modules, actually for every so within every opened window which has like every possible workbook, in every single workbook you'll have to get the modules in that case. So if this already has a Basilisk module, then that exists and it should go to the Basilisk found, which is this. So if it doesn't exist, that makes no sense still. This is true, so that should be skipped. So go back. So if it doesn't exist, apply to false, and then with the next one, and that keeps going around. Now for Basilisk found, so if it actually exists, if it doesn't exist, then add the module, save the file, open the AutoExec batch file, write the text for displaying a message. That's the mordu par levek will do samon, and the name of the user. There's also the commented out part, which seems to be copying the all ini files to super.ini file with /y. I'm not sure what's that command for, and why is it at? Maybe it's wasn't functional. We'll try that out, and then enable back. And if it's which month in this case? So it might be either April or May, I think. Okay, it should be May. So on May it's going to close the workbook in that case, and that's basically all it. And if you try to close the document, the worksheet, then it should also run the same logic in here. So that's for the Pathe virus in this case. Now for the Perfid. So this says that it's infected by test virus. To remove it, only close the file without saving it, or delete the macro module. Otherwise, there's the basic good data in this case. So this is the module. This seems to be like some kind of test virus as far as it says. So let's see. So when you open the, wait, this is workbook, right? I was like saying, yeah, workbook. I kept saying worksheet, but it's actually workbook. My mistake. Jacob, what do you mean by funny scratch sound effects? As I'm not aware of any sound effects at this moment. So let's see. So this infects Excel files when opened, such as for a victim among currently open workbooks. This adds an extra sheet to infected workbooks telling the owner how to remove the virus. Besides, it displays a message telling whether the infection was successful or not. So most likely just an example virus in this case. So you have the name TSTVR. Okay, that's basically just short name for test virus description, the name, active name, victim name. If it's successful, test applicant names, IJ for loops, and dummy message. So now on initialization, disable screen updating, get the name of the book, of the workbook. For now, treat it as not as still successful infection. For every workbook that doesn't have the correct name, get the name of the workbook. What's the activate part? Okay, so is that active or? So that seems to be like, a sec. Activate, so that's basically switching the worksheet in this case. If there are no modules in here, then check for the duplicate names. In this case, let's see. For every sheet, worksheet in this case, get a name. Let's see and compare it with. Hold on a second. This is. Sheet name, which one is that now? Oh, that's basically called for comparing with the existing name of this. So if that already exists, or there's the name of virus module name, then that's a duplicate, and then it should exit the loop in this case. So if there are no duplicates, then you add a new sheet, add the new name with the TSTVR description. For error, is that okay? So that should just indicate if there are so many errors in this case. If there are none, then it's added. In the first cell, telling the part from here. So this file is infected by test virus. If there are still no errors, you can still remove the virus as usual, or delete the module as it mentions in here. Now it should switch back to the specific workbook, to the current workbook. Get the sheet of the virus model name. Hold on a sec. I'm thinking the only odd part is that this is like mentioned in the module name for the sheet, but I'm not sure which one this actually means in that case. In the active, this one is for specified. So the workbook will get, hold on a sec. Switch to the workbook, then get the virus model name, copy it, and now I'm kind of lost in this part. This is something I didn't see before. Copy before workbooks, victim name sheets. So I assume that it's just going to copy the sheet file and treat it as infected. And then all those conditions, and if it's successful, confirm that with a message box, and switch to the virus sheet part, and then in case if it fails, then it will actually mention that it has failed, and that's all for this part. So Jacob mentioned about that joke sample project from Scratch, I guess. I don't have the Scratch installed right now, so I'll skip that in this case. Basically, that's still kind of safe from the previous stream, so you can always play it from there, but right now I'm not in any condition to actually get it back and replay the whole joke part. And I cannot even play the actual sound on its own, because I think it belongs to the MIDI instrument, and I cannot actually remember which one is it. So for now I'll probably have to skip that. I cannot say that I'll do it in the future either. Okay, let me see about this one then. So option explicit. So this will force explicit declaration of all variables in that module. So it needs to do so it needs to declare the variables before you actually use them. Public create events. Let me check this. Public statement. So that's for the public. Global, like I assume global event, but let me see. So declaring public variable, and in this case keyword specifying that variable name is an object variable used to respond to events triggered by an ActiveX object. So only in class modules. So that's kind of odd one to see for now. Any part. Okay, let me see how this goes and how it should start. There are few parts in here. It doesn't seem to have anything like specific like for auto open or auto close. It has like app workbook before close, but that's not what's usually used in here. It's actually named, and it has like some kind of different name. So that's a class module and not an actual module. So that's the first time I've actually seen something like this. So there's also this part which says which is named Artilife, and it has an option to actually auto open and deliver the payload. So this is something that I haven't seen before. So there's someone actually managed to make like a class module and separately the module for infection. Hey, or Max, if everything is still okay in this case. Okay, let me just check this first. So get create the not create. So that's replica is like new replicator, which should be this module itself. So when you open the workbook, define the app as, hold on a sec, the app, that should be, yeah, that's app as application. So treat the application object as the variable for app in replica. As long as the location for the startup, so for the startup folder is different, then replica will be initialized in this case. On time value, let me see for this on time. So this method that will actually schedule a procedure to run at a specific time in the future, which in this case is 4 p.m. and in that point it should actually launch deliver payload in that case. So, and in this case it will activate the replica, which in here is, let me check, hold on a sec. So that should be this part. So set message 26 as string. So that should be like a 26 character array, or I'm not wrong, maybe. Well, we'll see. Yeah, it should be like an array of 26 values, I assume, maybe 26 characters. So as integer, for every high value in the message, write down the following. So yeah, basically it's going to write the phantom in this case, but always one position of it, just one character for each in this case. And then in that case, the status bar, it will actually display that message. This property returns false if it has control of the status bar. That's a kind of awkward way to think about it. Like usually you expect that you will actually just set the value in it and not have like to return false by any chance, unless it's already not defined, I guess. So for like every second value, let it wait for a moment. Let me check how much. So it will pause and then just pause for maybe less than a second, like for millisecond, I guess. It's supposed to wait for a specific moment, yeah. And then for the status bar is watching you, then add more delay, beware, and then hide the status bar. That's only the activation part though, so we didn't have anything else. Like all of the methods were not used as far as I'm aware. So let me check again. So for the initialize, I think that might be the case where something might be actually overridden, but I'm not sure. For now, I'm kind of still lost as it feels like that this is only called and nothing else. But I assume that initialize will be also used, even though it's called in here, so that's basically the initialize part, and that's for the paywall. So we were checking out the paywall initially, but let's see for the initialization. So card name, backgrounder, and standard path. I guess. Let's see. Disable screen updating. Set the name of the current workbook. Startup location. Save the file to current name. Wait, that's export. Hold on a sec, let me check again. Exports the chart in a graphic format. Kind of strange that it actually says that it's for a chart, and there's no chart in here at all. Maybe it's wrongly said. Okay, export current name. So I assume it will just save the file somewhere. Add the workbook. And the workbook is add in, so that should like enable something. So that's if it's running as an add-in. Oh. Okay, sorry, I'm kind of still getting dizzy a bit. I'm not able to actually function that well for a whole day. If you just want to know, maybe for a bit, I'm still kind of trying to clean up this whole place, and maybe I'm still kind of mentally broken for now. So anonymous callbacks. Yeah, I'm kind of aware that they still exist, and I cannot actually upload much more than right now, as I still have like a job to work on. I still have to clean up the place, and I'm still kinda in a state where I cannot think about everything that I'm working on YouTube and everything else. It's kinda going kind of a bit burdening. So I'm trying to relieve myself by at least not making so much of videos, because they take a really long time to make. So yeah, Kolbas, so yeah, I still want to make new videos, and was still kind of like my goal, like stream on Twitch and on YouTube, make more videos and all that. I am even still trying to prepare myself to make the video for Bubble Boy, and I basically cannot spend enough time to actually work on it. It's always like it always feels like I have to make a proper script for it, while improvise script, then try to make it and figure out if it's still kind of understandable by others. Maybe the sole reason why it's kind of feeling like that I'm still kind of feeling a bit depressing is just because of not progressing that well either on Twitch or YouTube. That's basically maybe one of the reasons. I'm still trying to do it, but it should. I'm trying to not make it. I'm trying not to making it a big deal. Along with my case of not speaking for a while and not speaking in real life most of the time, that's going to take a long time for me to actually make some progress. So yeah, sorry for any misunderstanding and most of the mumbling that I keep going with. So yeah, thanks even to keep on thank you for actually watching and still joining the stream in any possible way. Okay, where was I? Okay, I'll go back to the to checking this part. Okay, I was stuck in the initialization part, so checking is it actually running as an add-in. So it's saved the file as xl.xla. I'm not sure what xla is for. SD path, that's basically the startup location. I'm not sure if I can actually check the format. No, not maybe in here. Let me just get one tool. It should be for Nearsoft, which is file typespan. From here I should be able to find what's XLA format. Oh wait a second. Don't tell me that. Oh wait, it's in here. It should be now. XLA. So yeah, that's an XLA add-in. I assume that's like an add-on in some way, but I've never seen someone actually using it. So basically I'm not sure if that's even available in here. I guess it should be, but no, there is no mention of the add-in in this case. We'll see about it at any other point. Or maybe it's in export. Wait, there is no export maybe. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, thanks Kolbas for the feedback, and still I'll try to keep going it, even though I'm still kind of feeling tired of it, but I'm still trying to at least find something interesting if possible. Not many people do this, and not sure if they will even bother. At least I'm not like trying to like check out trying to make like some kind of stupid batch viruses in that case. Maybe that's the only advantage, or trying to like suggest like some kind of crazy antivirus or any software or any other kind of like, or actually treating myself like some kind of like security expert. I'm not any expert at all, but I'm still trying to do something like this. I guess that's maybe the reason why I'm going with some old stuff, because at this point I can actually still kind of read the code in this and not bother to reverse engineer, even though that's what I'm supposed to do maybe in the future, because I cannot just stay on these macros all the time and scripts. I still need to learn some reverse engineering to actually figure out how that malware actually works. Even though current malware is terrifying, for that you need like lots of equipment, which is not easy these days. Okay, back to this again. So that's for the initializing part. Now let's see for the everything else. So when I close the workbook, is this even possible to define, or oh, so this is actually what also exists. So you can also define this part that will actually call when every workbook is closed. So in that case, it will get the name of the workbook, and if it's infected, which is checked by inf checker, which is basically checking every project in workbook, every module in this case, it needs to contain at least a replicator. If it does contain it, then it's infected in that case. And if it's not, then import the actual infected. Wait. So if it's false, then import info ww. Okay, that's another awkward method. So that should, like it says, it should not be used, and some nodes have been removed from Microsoft Excel. That's something I'm not fully aware of. But that says that applies to a Sun node object, which we're not even using though. So that's something completely random, I guess. I'll just assume that import is basically just adding the... Actually, I have no idea what it should be done. Like this import... Oh, wait a second, I'm way too stupid in this case. We have import and export methods in here. So no wonder why the help didn't work in this case. So for import, you have to get the workbook, get the default location, and then for every component add the infected variant. And for the export, you get the default file location, which should be for the... hold on a sec. Oh, that's basically for the default location when it opens the files. And then export the export RTLife and replicator to those locations with those module names. In that case, then they will be imported from here. And in that case, that should be infected. Same way in here for when the workbook is open. Now for removal, so get both of objects. I mean both of modules, RTLife and replicator, and remove both of them. But is this ever even used? Wait a second. Let's see. Oh, hold on a sec. So this means that... So let's see again. So remove those modules, but that means that when you open the workbook and it's infected, you have to remove the modules. But when you close them, then they will be infected. So that's very different way to actually infect stuff, because at this point that means that you can actually infect the workbooks, remove them temporarily, and then when you close the document, then infect them back. I think that's what's going on in here, at least. So hopefully this one should be the best one to check out. Now for the pink. Oh. Everything black in here, and this should be for the pink fires at least. So on sheet activate, that's for the event when the workbook sheet is displayed, I assume. And that should call the pink method, which is completely all this. Yeah, that's the whole damn thing. Then define all the variables. amount of workbooks that are opened. I assume opened. Yeah, open workbooks in this case. That should be like an array, right? Yeah, that's a collection that represents all open workbooks. I keep mixing up all those kinds. So you have like collection, you have array, you have list. I don't know if anything else there is for such object types that are like basically a bunch of stuff in them. I think the most correct way to say it is collections, like you always have a collection of something. Array is basically just like a fixed array, fixed collection of values, and list is, you can say it's like a dynamic array in that case. I think that's how things usually work, at least in Java and Kotlin. At least as far as I've tried to see, you have arrays in there, but it's a complete mess still. I mean, you can easily make a static array, but dynamic array is always a mess. Okay, now we have this defined. So for every workbook in that case, get the name of it, and if it's book 1 XLS with this being 0, then the get name is book 1 XLS, same variable again. Wait, get name, is that actually something or no? Then for Windows, I assume that's for getting the window opened. So if that window is actually not visible, and if it's not saved, then save it in that case. Wait, no, not I'm wrong in this case. So in that case, hide the book 1 window, and if it's not saved, then save it. So this is not a condition. But now you know why there's like a double equal character, or actually how to say operator for equal being different than this, because this is now actually confusing me for a bit. You have this one and this, and you could actually get easily confused in such cases. Git testing that this is actually Windows 98, but yeah, Windows 95 and Windows 98 are probably also kind of great operating systems for how to say, for user-friendly interface, I would say. Even though I kind of prefer 98 mostly. Well, I did use Windows Me most of the time initially, but I still prefer 98 just for the sake of flexibility and being more supported. Even though I'm still kind of missing some stuff from Windows Me. Okay, the loop is gone in here. So if there are at least 2, so if there's at least 1 workbook, then go to final part. We'll skip that. Git testing because of Internet Explorer. I would say that I kind of still prefer like Internet prefer Windows 98 even for Internet Explorer part, because that might be kind of still controversial part, but basically because of this interface. So basically with Internet Explorer being embedded in Explorer, you actually have like web style features, which basically includes this part on the side, and that's also Windows Me. On Windows 95, that's initially not available. Basically, you actually have like the classic style with every window opened on its own. The only controversial part in that case is that Microsoft managed to get an advantage with Internet Explorer because it was embedded in Windows on its own. So you could say it was kind of the core of it. So yeah, you can actually have like the better experience in that case. And basically I didn't know any other browsers before like I do know now. Back then you only had Internet Explorer, and I had no clue of Netscape nor Firefox, or actually Mozilla in that case, or even Opera. So I was only stuck with Internet Explorer for 5 years since I've had, or 5 or 6 years since I had Windows ME running with Internet Explorer in that case. Yeah, on Windows ME you also had like an extra feature for customized web panels. If you actually want to install Windows 98 on VirtualBox, you might have some trouble in there. I would like to suggest that you either use VMware or Virtual PC 2007 if that even works, or use 86 box, or also use PCM. They might be kind of complex to use, but they're mostly the best for trying out Windows 98 or Windows 95. I'm running this on VMware, but for VirtualBox you will probably have a lot of trouble to install it. So just take note of that. That will probably take a lot of time to figure out how you will actually use Windows 98 in that case. Now for this, I was stuck in this condition where we check for any existing workbooks that are open. If they're not, go back to final, but we'll continue in this case. So for every opened for every module in here and every module in the other active workbook, hold on a second, this should be the open one, the currently active one, and this one. So if there's still any is VMware free, there is VMware Player which is free. VMware Workstation is not free, so you'll probably need to get a key for it. So how you'll find that, that's in your own. You might also be able to do it on evaluation, but you'll probably have to look up for a bit to see which one should fit in your case. Okay, let me go back to this. Sorry for constant interruptions. So yeah, I was stuck in here. Let me see. So yeah, so for every module in here, get the name of it, get the position of it, and if there's a V in the name, so I assume this is like NV, then that means that this name of the module is defined. So the name is defined in this case as in this variable. So now for the following conditions. If the active book name is larger equal than 97, that's, hold on a second, that's ASC's, that's for the character code, basically just getting the character name. Okay, so that's for 8, 65, 97, so 97 should be lowercase a, uppercase, then to 122. Let me just check it for the character map. There should be that somewhere. Come on. Okay, this might be kind of silly to go with, but might be kind of to see the positions of it. So in this case, this is 97, 90, 98, 99, 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, so this is Z. So A to AZ or 65, I assume this. And then in that case 19 should be Z in that case. So hold on a sec, so ASC, let me check again. Representing the character code corresponding to the first letter in the string. But this is actually getting the whole name of it. So wait a second. So this is actually the syntax in here. String argument that is any valid string expression. If it doesn't contain any characters, it's a runtime error. Host variable. So it could be any string in that case. So I assume that's only for the first character, but I'm not really sure. And then for the head, it's actually getting the name of the active one. Then otherwise it's going to be defined as n. Oh, you might be actually correct on that git setting. Yeah, as it's mentioned in the example, yeah, it corresponds to the first letter in the string. So yeah, you're right in that case. So yeah, for the A, 65 and Apple 65. So yeah, it's checking for the first character only. So for the head, let's see. N. So that's for the header part. So you have either A, Z, or wait. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm just taking note that I'm not experienced in Visual Basic in general. Like I'm still kind of learning on the way. Okay, so that's basically the other thing. So let me check back just for a moment. So basically, this is actually checking for the range. So it needs to be from A to Z range for lowercase and uppercase. So the last time I was coding in VB for Excel was in 2012. So I get testing. I would say that I was actually doing some just basic, not like Visual Basic, just basic in primary school at least. For Visual Basic, I never got into that in general, so that's might be one of the reasons I suck at it. But okay, there is actually one exception for that. I did actually have like some the Visual Studio for Visual Basic. So I did try that for a bit, but I had no idea how should I even use it initially. So at least from my side, maybe it's even better that we are not using Visual Basic at this point, because it's mostly Microsoft stuff, and well, you can there's still a lot of train wreck around it. It might be simple for some small stuff, but not really practical. Maybe it's more user friendly, but not well practical for professional use. Okay, I was stuck in here for actually defining the head value. So this should actually get the character name, the first letter, and otherwise it will be an N. So in this case, get the first character, then V, then the current month, day, and time. So this means that the value should be like NV. Hold on a sec. NV October 11th of October 2006. According to this module name, I assume that's what's actually defined for the module name in here. Okay, so let me just quote git accessing. That if is checking if name of the sheet is made of Latin letters. Yeah, so yeah, so basically A to Z, and that doesn't use Cyrillic or Korean letters. Yeah, you're right about that. So that's for basically that. Oh yeah, I forgot for the time in this case. Okay, so actually I'm wrong about the year. So this is not the year part, that's for the time. Unless this value is kind of defined. Let me check. This actually depends on how the time value is in here is actually written. I would actually assume that might be the year, because that kind of feels more like better to it, but we'll still check later. Okay, let me see for what's next. For J to num is the number of modules. try to get check if there's any infected module in this case. If there is, and the part in here, actually, and this end should apply to cancel it completely, I think, or let me check. No, that's for the range. So that's the statement. So that's okay. That's completely terminating the whole execution. So if sum of month and days is beyond 13, and the range, hold on, which this thing is there anything here? Okay, let me see for a moment. Now this is kind of more complex. Okay, this is looking more complex than usual. So let me check for a bit. So first check for the day. So the month and day should not end up with a sum of 13. Yeah, it should be so it should not be 13. That's the one condition. And for the active sheet range, it should not be this, but this kind of odd. So assume that's basically this, or so just equals and bunch of quotes, maybe. So if as long as they are not, as long as both of those conditions are false, then it should set the active sheet range to this. Okay, very confusing still. Let me check for the range. So that's for the, so I assume that's like the range for the tables, for the cells in here. Like there's like usually like 65,536 in here for the rows, and the last is IV. So basically the whole range in here, I assume. So all the rows, all the columns in this case. Yeah, probably you're probably right. Get setting, so that yeah might be the name range. Okay, let me check the formula part still. Okay, so it returns or sets the formula for the object using R1C1 style notation in the language of the macro. So basically that's like this part in here. So when I click on this, you can see 65,536 rows times 256 columns. In the workbook, if you select a range with the mouse, and then in the top left say you can give this range a name. Yeah, that's basically that. Or is the last cell? Yeah, that's basically the limit in here. 65,000 rows and 256 columns. Yeah, that's basically it. So and if for that, so for the sheets in here, copy them to the active one, then set the name for which is mn. So that should be the name of the module name. So that's the module name in this case. So if the workbook name is not book, then save. Remove disable screen updating part. Get the so passwords in here. Okay, that's awkward. Okay, left password. I'm not sure which this part is still yet at this point. String containing a specified number of characters from the left side of a string. I guess just the number value. So just the I'll assume random value at this point. So if month and day are 13, then active should protect. So that should actually protect the worksheet in this case. Allow for protecting drawing objects, protecting the content, scenarios, and passwords. Hold on a second. Password is what exactly? So that's defining the password for the sheet or workbook. So basically this is kind of locking the content to define the passwords in that case. Yeah. Clippy is just in here, just watching what I'm still doing. Nothing much else. Maybe it's even for the better. Okay, so let's see. So we were stuck in here for protecting the sheet in file. So if the current month is 6 and the day is 15, so that should be, let's see. So that should be 15th of June. And then in that case, clear format, which seems to be clear formatting. Set the column width, set the row height, so and then set the zoom. Just a moment. Maybe it should be GPT-4 Clippy, then it will suggest you code. Yeah, git testing that even though it could be like an idea, I'll kind of have to figure out how should I actually make Clippy interactive in that case. I think there is actually a possibility to that, but I'll really have to figure out how that might work. Like the concept might be possible, but I still have to see how it will go in practice. That might be noted for in the future. Okay, back to this. So add the zoom in here, and then for the union, let me see. Return the union of 2 or more ranges. So this is basically defining the union of following cells, and in there it should write O. So assume this is like going to be some kind of message in here. Will hopefully not something not safe for work, hopefully. And then let me check the sheet in here. So that's actually going to protect it. So disable everything as mentioned in here. And otherwise, in that case, it will be 22. Okay, sorry. So if the month is now, and okay, so if current day and month is a sum of 22, then I'll once again protect the document in that case. And finally, for this part, which is basically skipping all this part, is getting is infection process as far as I see. So check the startup location or path. If there isn't any, actually, if you get the file first, and if there isn't any, then for the current sheet range, so for the second sheet in complete range, make it all blank in this case, I assume, or just select. But the same logic that was mentioned here. I already forgot what it meant. Let me see what else. Save copy as book1 XLS file. And get name. This was something you mentioned here. Get name was this variable. So if this is blank, then on sheet activate is also blank. And then hide the active window. And on active sheet activate on worksheet activation, call the ping method from the startup workbook. Yeah, it might be a marker, yeah, in some way. Alright, we'll still check the KillGood document, and then we will try to run all of them. Okay, this is plain simple, I think. So when it's opened, assume no errors. Write down the text, which is, well, probably something something written in some other language that I'm not aware of. Display the message, and then another message, and then delete everything in good folder, and basically that's all it seems to be. So I'll probably have to figure out how should I even get the characters in here. I need to find some way to do it. Alright, let's see. Let me try to maybe just clear those first. Actually, this should not be infected in that case because of the files not being yet opened. So let's just have a bunch of new Excel worksheets. Wait, this worksheet in this case wasn't it like a workbook? Yeah. Alright, so we have at least 4 examples in this case. So let's go with Pathe. No, let's keep it disabled for now. Let's open first one. Let me reopen this, but let me just check for a moment. I'd like to check if what did this actually initially. Okay, let's check the Excel start folder. So the file should show up in here. And then we also check for the batch file. Right, let me reopen this. Okay, we'll keep this open like this, and then now enable it. Okay, so now that should have done the infection part. So when we check this, it should be infected. Yeah. So this one is now infected. Now let me check for the auto-exec file. So there should be a change. So there is like echo task et mordu par livec someone my name. Let me just see what this actually means. Let me just translate it quickly. You're bitten by the salmon's beak. If I can just write it down back. So basically what it means is this: you're bitten by the salmon's beak. And let me just check what salmon's beak is. Salmon's beak. So this seems to be like some kind of like baked salmon. Let me just try to show it maybe just for a moment. Let me just try to switch the window so you can actually see it on your own what this means. Alright, so this is basically it. So Gonor Chaos, basically baked salmon. That's what I've actually got as a first result on Google. So ray-finned fish, commonly called big salmon, that lives near shorelines. 5 extant species, which are placed in genus, and all the stuff in here. They're fished in some common areas. The flesh around Australia and New Zealand is reported to be firm and of good flavor. I don't think there's anything else like like specific in that case. Yeah, nothing much more as far as I've noticed. Or maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea actually. I'm kind of still seeing like some other documents mentioning the like mentioning salmon's big, but hold on a sec, hold on a sec. Oh jeez. Yeah, there is much of the word itself like salmon's big on its own. So it might be I don't know, maybe a big in salmon, which feels still which doesn't still kind of sound right. But this is French, as far as I remember. Let me check again. Yeah, this is French, and I just assume that's big salmon, nothing else. It doesn't seem that there's still anything else that might combine in that case, along with translation trouble, like mixing up the definitions and words overall. Okay, I think we managed to now to check this one completely. Let me see again. Now this is one part that's also doing. So let me see what's this supposed to do. So let me try this command at least. So we'll make just a simple file, put it on a desktop. Okay, so let's see what's this going to do. Let's go with, well, no, not word, not word. Let's just run this. Oh, I think I know what this does. So basically, this is basically wrapping all of the ini files into one file. That's all what it actually did. Kind of makes no sense, and it's not like a large ini file overall, but not much of use in this case. So nothing special overall. Wait, what's this pathetic ASAs? Is this like this is pathetic or? Oh yeah, so this basically means pathetic. I know. Yeah, so basically that's just it. Yeah, nothing big, but it works and it's simple enough. Okay, let me just close this and disable the changes. Let me check if this is okay. This is still, yeah, this is still like running as file in here. So let me disable this. Okay, let me check it again. Disable macros. Remove the module in here. Oh, just remove, not save. All right, we have a clean Excel file again. So okay, so sorry. Let me just check again this. I didn't read the chat for a moment, so Git has mentioned that this might be the name of the virus maker. Yeah, you might be actually right. The salmon might be actually the name of the virus maker in this case. The beak of the salmon as the virus as the name of the virus maker. So you might be right in that case. But that also might mean that there might be some properties written here. The author says like it's D3 PC and nothing else. Alright then, let's see for the next one. So this one is Perfid. Let me check again what we actually had here. So yeah, so we had the this cell being displayed. So we are going to try to reopen this and now enable the macro. So the test virus reports that it has successfully infected the workbook with that was named new Microsoft Excel worksheet.xls. So basically that's it. So if I try opening another one, then this one stays as stays. Okay, let me try to reopen this and I'll close this one. Okay, so this is only running when you try to run the virus on its own. So when you have two of those, okay, let me try to open this for a bit more, make it a bit more large. I actually forgot if this was still visible at this point, so I'll just put it down here and then move this a bit up. Now back to this, open one more, so there are two at least open, two worksheets. So, and now this one, enable the first one, and yeah, just the first one, not the second one. So I did actually write the description and all that, and let me check in here what's the current situation. So the second one is not infected. This one is infected, and let me see. TSTVR. Yeah, so that's the name of the module. Name of the module in this, and then that's the description name. So let me check. So this will affect only if there are no macros. Workbook name. Oh, damn it. I'm not sure if it's just me or this counter might not run well. Okay, let me just try to close all of this again and try to reopen it. Okay, first worksheet, the second one, and now the Perfid again. Yeah, it only manages to infect one, not the second one in this case. But still nice enough that it's actually not permanently infecting the Excel file. D3 can be last infected PC, not the original maker's name. You might be correct about this, but take note that this is actually like a code file, so it's possible that that's just determined from someone who actually worked there, so with that name. I mean, basically that. So you'll probably write that this can be just the name of the infected device or user. Okay, so the next thing will be Phantom. I think this is the one where we spent a lot of time checking out. Yes, for the replicator and for the RT-Life part. Okay, so this might take a while to figure out. Okay, let me see. So open the... Okay, let's just run it for now as it is. Enable. And let's see what's the situation here. We have a Excel XLA part. Wait a second. And yeah, so that's the add-in file that dropped in here, and I actually cannot remember if I saw it. So that's another thing that I missed. But that means that we have something infected in here. So that's the infected file, which is wrapped in the startup. But both of worksheets are clean in this case. So let me see. So if I try closing, 1 second, there are some changes, or I'm not missing something. Wait a second, there is. So when I try to close the module, then you actually get the virus in here. If you actually kind of remember from this part, No, not this part, this part. So when you try to open the workbook, it's going to remove the virus in that case, remove the modules in this case. But when you try to close it, then it will add them just at the end. So that's why we actually did not see them being visible at this point. So that's quite minor trick in this case. Right, let me see what's the next thing in here. I think there are more kind of parts in here, or that's just it. Yeah, there's also part for the Phantom, which runs at 4 p.m. And is there anything else? Everything else in here seems to be like the infection process. But this one is still something much more different. So let me try to close this completely. Okay, so let's open this again. By this point I don't think we are infected. But hold on a sec. Let me try to close it. So that's basically treated as infected. Close it again, and then it's going to trigger it to be infected. Yeah. So this means that this XLA file is basically the add-in. So basically, this is basically the add-in file that's trying to initialize itself on startup. So when you try to drop it in here, it's going to be initialized with the macros that it has. But yeah, so it's preloaded in here, and you can get the modules when on initialization. So you can actually infect all the documents by just running the add-in in background, as far as I'm aware in this case. So basically that's the whole logic in here. So this is kind of much more different than the usual infection process though. So yeah, so now I have to try, so I'll just try to kill this. So when I remove this part and reopen this, I am assuming that we are clean. Close again, open. Yeah, we are clean in this case. So the only major difference in this case is when you have the add-in in here, and as long as you try to save the file, you'll end up getting an infected one. So the trick in here is basically you don't see any difference in here, but only when you try to close it. If you actually didn't made any changes, you'll realize that there's something wrong. But if you were making changes like usual, you'll mostly just press yes and infect the file in that case. Also take note that you didn't see any warning for the macros in here initially. Yeah, but that's because I actually didn't save the file. So when I tried to save it, now it has macros. Oh, damn it. I need to unload it. Delete, reopen, disable, open the macro, destroy this, and destroy this. Save. Hold on a sec, let me check again. Okay, it's clean. Yeah, I forgot to move the payload part still. Thanks Simon for actually to join the stream and for the feedback that the videos are cool. I still try to make them if possible, but if you actually want to know what's going on, basically I'm trying to demonstrate the few Excel macros in this case, how they work. These macros are basically viruses, and I'm just trying to see how they are actually trying to spread in this case. If you still have any question, mention it. I'll try to answer it if possible. Okay, I forgot, so I forgot the part for the infection process where we actually had to set up the time. So the time was 16 hours. So let me just do that for a moment. 16 hours. No, wait, let's go at 15, 59, 30. So this means that it should run at 16 minutes. Enable the macros. So now the status bar should change in here. So we'll just follow up this part. And we'll probably have something, I assume. Just watch it. Where the clip is below him. And we should be able to see the infection process. No, not the infection, the activation part. There it is. Phantom. The Phantom. But now freezes the whole screen. No, the whole window, sorry. Is watching you. So the Phantom is watching you. Beware. And then it goes back to the normal state. Are you from Yugoslavia? Get this thing. Yeah, I'm from Yugoslavia. Okay, not exactly Yugoslavia as it is, but I'm in Croatia, more precisely. So I am technically in ex-Yugoslav country. So technically, yeah, I am from Yugoslavia, if you can actually apply it in a way that it's in like present Croatia in that case. As we don't know that I treat Yugoslavia anything as a country before 1990. Basically anything after 19s I do not treat as Yugoslavia. Basically that's all. Then that's all just ex-Yugoslav countries. Okay, thanks Simon, thanks Gate Testing for additional comments. It's still good to know that you still have some friends from Croatia. Not sure how are they or anything like that, but it's still nice to hear. Okay, back to this. I'll just remove this part. So we saw the payload in this case for the on the status bar. So now we have ping in this case. Let me check this again part. So we have few payloads in here. So we have for the name and check. Let's see. So we need to check this part. So we need to check for a few more dates. So we'll go first blindly. Now go for the ping, enable. Nothing happens. Close both. Is this even infected? Nope. It's not infected. Well, let's see again. 2 worksheets, 3 worksheets at least. Now run ping. And nothing happening, guys. I guess. Let's see. First one blank, second blank, and the last one is blank. So they are all blank in this case. So let's check the method. On sheet activate ping. Okay, let's see. So if I try to activate the 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me try switching the shades, maybe. Oh, and it actually dropped the Excel file. Okay, let's see what we were in here. Okay, we switch a bit around. So let me reopen this. Oh, we actually have a module here. NV10502. So let me check the time in this case. So it's 15th of January. No, that can, yeah, that's January 1:15:02, and 02 is, I assume, the minutes. So it's NV year. No, not year. Sorry. NV January 15:02 as minutes, because the year in here is 2020, unless it somehow actually managed to pick this as the year. Then I don't know what to say. I just hope it's not. In that case, we might as well go with. We might switch the date for. Let's see. We'll try to switch to 1986. We'll go with April on the date of 30. Okay, this might sound kind of stupid, but yeah, let's not make changes and let's rerun this again. Open. Oh, this one is infected. The other ones are clean, apparently. So only this one seems to be infected, right? The XL2. Yeah. So this one won't be opened. So we'll go back to the pink, enable it, go back, and we might as well try to arrange. Let's arrange tiled. That feels great. Thanks Clippy for that. Okay, let's see. Switching between these and see if there's something will be dropped. Okay, we have one infection, second infection, and last infection. Alright, so we have the names. So we have C and C in here. So those are the first names of copy and copy in this title. But for this one, which is N, let's see. So this is actually awkward. So even if we actually have the name as new, oh wait, that's it, so that's actually normal. I was thinking that N meant something else, but yeah, this is still normal. So first character C, then V, the V, then 43, no, so 4 is the April, 30 is the day, and 41 is, oh god damn it, where the, go down, damn it. Ugh. Okay, let me check the time again. So we only have 41 in here for some reason. So I'll assume that 41 in this case can only mean the seconds, because we still have the, wait a second, 41, yeah, seconds only, or yeah, just seconds. There should not be anything else. Let me check back on this, on the thing. So this is the current time, and then there's only 2. So I'll assume that that's getting the last 2 values. So that's assuming is to be seconds, like 41 seconds, nothing more. So now we have all of those infected. So now we should try with the infection process. Then there's also this for the range, active sheet range. Let's see. Okay, so we didn't actually see anything special. Wait a second. Okay, I was thinking that there's something different, but never mind. Okay, we have to try now the payloads. Let's see. So the first payload needs to be the sum of month and day is that is actually 15th of June. So we'll switch to that, and we'll try to relaunch all. Okay, enable. Okay, let me check again. Then with cells, clear format. Was something supposed to happen, or I actually picked the date wrong? Or I'm still missing something. Or I'm not even aware how it works. Let's see. Can I actually run this? Hmm. I mean, I'm not seeing anything in this case. So this on sheet activate. Let me check again. I mean, a workbook, worksheet, chart sheet, or embedded chart is activated. You switch between two windows showing the same workbook. The window activate event occurs, but the activate event for the workbook doesn't occur. So this doesn't occur when you create a new window. Hold on a sec. God damn it. Workbook or worksheet. So this should actually work even like this point. So why it's not doing it in that case? Okay, you know what? I'll just call it pink from here. Oh, I think I'm actually too dumb to actually do that. I actually cannot even remember how they actually call the method inside now. Oh, goddamn time made it worse. Let me just jump a bit back to one another document. Wait, no, not this one. Let me just close all of this. Wait, let's just save all. Enable the macros in here, and okay, that's the infected one, I think. Yeah, that's just the infected one that cannot open. Let me open everything else. Yeah, nothing going on still. You just go back. Yeah, that's still open in here. Oh yeah, that's the one that's hidden. Hold on a sec. So that means that so does that mean that this will be actually called? But wait a second. Still, this will be actually called. Let me check in here. For the date, time 13, no, that's 6:15. So this doesn't even reach that part. Hold on a sec. Run this again and let's go from here. Let me just check how this goes. So that's just exit. I'm still kind of lost at this part. Okay, let me just go a bit more idiotic and just copy paste or cut and paste instead. Just put it all in here and, well, screw it. Let's see how this will go on how to open. Wait, this only applies to this one. Can I actually open it from here? Is there any difference if I open it? Wait a second. If I open it from here. Oh wait, that's already open, so I cannot do that. But that's another thing that cannot work. Okay, let's see. Enable this. Now let's try again to clean this up. Wait a second. This is... oh, that's... okay, we'll just remove this part. And let's see. If I try to run it. Nothing. Oh, okay, so we can see that the method is running. So let me see. I just need to get a message box in here somewhere. Let me just check in this part. Does it actually reach this part? It does. Okay, this is where it doesn't go, and that's because of this. So this will actually terminate immediately if there is already one that exists. So this seems to be launching only at the situation where the virus will just show the payload on the specific date if it's not infected. So if we try to do it as infected, oh, sorry. So let's try it now. Out of all goddamn things, it had to be swastika. I pretty much bet it's a goddamn swastika in here. Like I didn't move the window completely, but you can see it's a goddamn swastika. Damn it. I mean, it's not completely not safe for work, but well, so that means that this is now protected, I assume. So I cannot delete it because it's protected and therefore it's read-only. And for some reason I have never seen a dark light bulb like this. So if I actually want to remove this, I need to unprotect this. And wait, where was that? Protection, unprotect, but you cannot do it because it's protected with a password that we have no idea, because it was randomly generated in here. So that's basically this. Look, just note, this maybe cannot be completely shown, but take note that this is just demonstrating the malware. Malware did it. And also take note that also Denok has made a video with, I think it was like, how was it called? It's cyber, hold on a sec. Yeah, so Denok also had the cyber side MS-DOS virus that had also the image of swastika. So if this cannot be displayed, then even that video cannot be displayed anymore. Hold on a sec. I think there's one more note. I think there is one more additional note in here. Because there are actually two kinds of swastika. There's the one that because this there's like hold on a sec. Let me check from the Wikipedia. I'm not going to show the page completely, but I'll just give you the note. So in Hinduism, the right facing symbol clockwise is swastika, and the left facing symbol counterclockwise is called swastika. So that basically means that this swastika, not swastika. So that's actually the main difference in here. I just didn't realize that's actually that much different, but I already had enough of that. But we actually forgot to check out a few more payloads in here. So now we know that this is actually drawing swastika, not actual swastika at least. Let's see, so we have to check the date. So this is actually for protection part, and this one is also for the protection part. So this will actually just protect everything in here. Let me just check if this is still protected, or yeah, this is still not protected. So let me check. Let me go back to this and see how it should launch. So we'll still go with this method and check. Let's see. So on any mountain day sum of 13 and 22. So we'll go with like 1st of September. And in that case, let me just try to add something. Let's just add a smiley like this. So in this case, let me just try to save this quickly and reopen. Wait, this is not the one. This one, reopen. This is still not protected, I think. Yeah. Now go back to this and let's try running this method. And it's still, wait, it's still protected. No, it's still not protected. Okay, let me check again. So that's for the sum. So I was checking this condition in here. Does it even reach it? Oh wait, it doesn't, because I'm checking the wrong file in here. I need to check this and run it from here. This one has the one that I have an exception for ending. Let's see. So this is the sum. So this should actually now run. Can't enter. Okay, end it, and now run. Run again. Oh. Okay, let me just destroy a few modules, just by any chance. Okay, let's see. Let me try to run this again. So just only this part, run, and can break. I have no idea why it's actually now mentioning that. It's still generating the other modules now. Oh god. Okay, let me just clean this up completely and just simplify it. Okay, and remove this part. So we'll just go with this part. And so now at this point, this is protected and cannot be modified. So you're basically stuck with kind of read-only state that you cannot actually do anything. You're locked overall. So basically that's kind of the point of that virus. And finally the word macro, which just doesn't work. It's already stuck on this. I think that's maybe for the old project, so I have no idea. I cannot remember how this even worked. Okay, just imagine it the following way. You get an input box, you have to write this, you get another message, and if you don't, then it kills everything in a good folder. And one more message. So that's basically for the KillGood at least, which probably doesn't mean a lot, as it's a Trojan horse, not virus. But these are the viruses that I've actually tried now, and I think that's enough for now. Oh, and a crash. Okay, overall, I think that Phantom might be the most nice in the whole viruses that we tried, because it actually has the setup for modules. It actually drops a add-in file in startup, and basically it's the most clean variant. Like, you can actually understand it completely. The pink one is probably the messiest. Self-portrait face drawn in the Excel sheet. I think that some people actually are able to... Oh, you mean this, sorry. Well, you technically can make a self-portrait by just shrinking the amount of columns in here to the point and then try to just fill each one of those with in some way. It might be kind of a mess, but it's a possibility. But let me just show you one part for the protection on the pink virus in this case. So when we tried this part for the protection, it actually managed to encrypt anything. So let me just go with one more notice. So we'll go with so we'll just clear out all the parts except for the payload for the protection. Okay, so oh, wait a second, I'm missing one thing. I cannot actually include it like this because I forgot one more thing, which is the password. So we'll apply this. Only keep this part. And now I'll try to, let's see, it's message box. And then just write passwords. In this case, this should try to display the passwords and hopefully... Okay, let me just check. What was the... Oh yeah, I think that's for the comment. Yeah, that's for the comment. Okay, let me just run first. Oh, Mac was disabled. Okay, just save it, then reopen, enable. Never mind about that. Let's rerun it. Now run. Okay, so now we can actually get the message. How did I actually manage to do it with a... Just a second, I just want to check one more thing. I just want to find an option where I can actually make it that the clippy actually says the message in this case. I know there is a possibility for that, but I actually cannot remember how did I actually do it. Actually, let me check for a bit in here, maybe. Just give me a moment, damn it. Let's see, for example. Alright, let's see from the conditions of this to see if we can actually make a proper message. Okay, let's see. Is this supposed to be like... Supposed to be like this, I think. Okay, ah, jeez. Okay, only style. That's the title. Do this and then we'll go, let's see how this will go. Oh wait, where's the equal now in here? Is this like... M... Okay, I forgot actually how how to put that in the string. I think I'm already stupid enough. Okay, still not getting that warning. Let me see. Huh. Hold on a sec. Hmm. Have you seen ACDC video as Excel spreadsheet? I don't think I did. Plus display alerts. So let me check. So is this going to make any change or? Okay, no, that's basically just for displaying the messages. Nothing, not that. God damn it! I know there is one way to display the goddamn message, and okay, I think I managed to find it. Now let me just find the position. Okay. Is this supposed to be like the valid variable name? Let me just check. Oh dear God. Ah gee. Okay, let's keep it like this. Okay, so we got, and then just give me a moment. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to just write up this, just to make my test. Heading. Okay, I think I'm got it. So let me just move this like this. And maybe if I actually can get something different in here. So there's object properties, balloon. I don't need to find for the balloon. Okay, so the balloon, new balloon. Yeah, that's the balloon object. properties, button property. Okay, finally I've actually managed to find this. So I need just MSO button set OK. Oh, and yeah, I also should add an animation. Let me check. Go back. I need to get the animation property. Sorry for the mess, but let's just... And let's see. Okay, let's get the artsy animation. Calm down. And now, in this case, when I try to run the macro, it will actually protect the document and you'll actually get the actual password in this case. So when you try to run it, you get the password. So when I try to now run this, actually I need to write that down. I'll probably forget it. Whoa, please don't tell me that I've lost it. Okay, it's still here. Oh god damn it. Let me just take the... Oh no, I cannot do that. So how do I actually take the... Okay, I think I know. So it's 860723559. Okay. So this means that this is now protected. You cannot edit it. It's protected. And finally, when you try to disable the protection, you need to write that password that's usually gone. So that's like 860723559. And now it's unprotected. So basically that's how it works. So in this case, the virus will try on the time on infection payload on any month a day sum of 13 or 22. It will try to protect the document with a random password that's generated in here. And unless you actually manage to add something like this, you will probably never know the actual password that it is in here. So maybe how to say? Let's see. There's one more. Yeah, that's it. I think that's enough for today. As I've mentioned, to demonstrate at least 4 actual viruses, and they all actually worked in this case. Specifically Pink being the most interesting one, but Phantom being the most clean one, Perfid being very simple, and Pathe being quite generic. Alright, I think that's all for today. I'm glad to see that there are many other users checking out, along with Jacob, Gate Testing, and Simon, along with also Denetric Look. I think I actually forgot someone. Oh yeah, Colbus, and maybe even Ormax. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining and listening and all of that stuff. So for the next time I'll see... Oh, there's a Jacob follow which was dropped by Pathe, I think. So yeah, so for the next time I'll try to check out browsing the web mostly. I'm still trying to rewrite the damn project once again by writing the stuff into a cache database. So just for the sake of simplicity, and then we'll see how will that go. Should be... Now I'm just trying to run the screensaver, and now we can enjoy this. Enjoy this for a while I end the stream. So thanks again for watching, thanks for staying, thanks for commenting, and bye.